Welcome to Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt of the Marquardt Law Firm at marquardtlawfirm.com.
Welcome back to Talk Law Radio. I'm Todd Marquardt here with Dawn White-Fosdick, the CEO and president of Christian Assistance Ministry, and it's our legacy segment.
And now it's time for the Talk Law Radio
There's
Legacy Spotlight. What's your legacy?
Voiceover
Sponsored
going
by
on.
Marquardt Law Firm.
Okay, so Marquardt Law Firm sponsors the show, and attorneys at Marquardt Law Firm focus on business and estate law, including last wills, living trusts, and tax-protected inheritance plans. It's all about legacy. And so we like to ask our guest about legacy, which could be defined as the amount of money that you leave or property that you leave in your last will, or it could be lessons you've learned from those who have gone before you, lessons that you want to pass on, family values, that kind of thing. So when I say legacy, what comes to mind?
Well, I think two things. One, for myself and the work that I do and the choice to work in nonprofit, is that I want to come up with creative solutions that impact the processes that make it so difficult for people to be successful. And so if I can come up with creative solutions that live well beyond me, programming, services, outside of the box thinking, that can mean changed lives for people, not only today, but well into the future. I hope that that's been my legacy in my work, and helping others to understand how important it is and want to give towards those efforts and realize that they can also participate, that there's a deep legacy in us all working on this together. That would be what I want for myself personally, and for CAM, Christian Assistance Ministry.
Right.
It's been around almost 50 years. I want it to be around in another 50 years. Not because I want there to be tragedy in the world, but I believe that there always are going to be people that struggle, that are in need, whether it's their fault or not any doing of their own. And what are we going to do to answer their call for help?
Well, I love that legacy. You have a big heart, and you have the courage to step out there and help people that are lost or confused or ill. And I'm sure that's not easy. Something that you said just now helped me remember something that Shannon talks to me about a lot is the dignity of the person. No matter the reason that they ended up wherever they are, they still are made in the image of God, and they're loved by Christ, and we should see them the same way. What are some of the ways that this population is discriminated against and face hardship because of where they are?
Well, I think that our processes and our desire to make sure that no one's conning anybody makes it really hard. If you don't have a phone, if you don't have a vehicle, making an appointment, getting on a bus, meeting requirements. And I understand the need for them. You know, I get it. It's just that is very hard on someone who is barely able to walk, maybe facing paranoid schizophrenia, has lost their child, is struggling with addiction. All of those processes just make it so hard for them. And then they're turned away, and they start to feel like they're not deserving of moving forward or doing anything. And so I do think that along those lines also that we want easy solutions. We don't like the fact that they're complicated, that each person has to be thought about individually, and we have to come up with solutions like that. People don't want to see someone on the side of the street. They want the police or the courts or someone to just take care of it. And they're not recognizing that individual person is someone's mother, brother, sister, son, father, who has individual needs. There's not just a silver bullet or one solution that's going to help all of those people. So I think dignity requires knowing the person as who they really are and coming up with solutions that they can really attain. And that is very hard.
Well, you're a professional at this.
That's true.
And so I figure over 16 years, you can probably see someone in genuine need versus somebody that's just trying to get something out of you. And forgive me for coming back with that same argument, but I hear lots of things, and I don't know where I came up with it, either in the news or on the radio, where some of the people that stand on the corner asking for money, that it's not really them that gets to keep the money. They have, some other low level criminal that's driving them around town to these different corners, and they say, you get to keep a percentage of the money, and because I drove you over here, I get to keep part of the money. And so that's what most people see. If you don't go downtown,
Sure.
there's not as many people on the north side, living on the sidewalk. Is it helpful for when we pull up to the stoplight to give somebody $5, or is that $5 better spent giving to CAM or the church or some other organization?
This is what I say. Part of the time I will say to people, if your heart is just guiding you to do that and you want to give somebody $1, okay. But actually, one of my street outreach workers, who is an addict herself, says that $1 can be the $1 or the $5 that he or she uses to kill themselves by overdosing. So she would say to me, and I tend to agree with her, we shouldn't be doing that. Not only may it be going to somebody who's disreputable, but it may be the money they use in order to overdose. So you really haven't done something great. If you feel that compassionate, you can give water, you could give a bus ticket, you could give some socks or some crackers. And then I would say, if you're feeling that way, that you really want to do something meaningful, then join up with the people that are doing this work. Hold hands with my team members like Jack and Heather, who do have the experience and know what it's like. Whether you're doing it at CAM or SAM Ministries or Haven for Hope or Corazon, whatever organization fits the bill for how you want to serve, join them. Don't bring a bunch of pizzas under the bridge when we're providing food every single day. In fact, I would say we'd love to not make 350 sandwiches 6 days a week. Tell us you'll do it one day a week, and maybe you'll bring something different.
Oh, well, there's that.
That's a way to do it.
I actually had a friend, him and his family took sandwiches under the bridge, and everybody that was there that day, at least, was very disappointed. And so he was very disappointed that they weren't, thanking him and giving him hugs. But he could join the organization and make sandwiches with y'all, and then that would accomplish the same thing.
Absolutely. And on holidays, we let our staff actually take a day off, and we rely on volunteers who want to do it on a Thanksgiving or on a Christmas. And they can come down with tacos, and we have our security there to make sure it's safe for everyone. And you could get a really welcomed experience in doing it in a safe, appropriate environment. And you'd be doing something for a lot of people.
My other thought was, if you're going to give $5 every time you stop at the stoplight, over the course of a month, that could be a lot of money.
Absolutely.
And so rather than do that, just write one check to CAM every month.
Sure. And know that all the things that we're purchasing and why we're doing it that are just major. We're paying for people's medication. We're helping them have shoes for their feet. Sometimes we buy steel-toed boots because they've started a job and they won't be able to start if they don't have steel-toed boots.
I've heard
so there's lots of ways that you can help. And feel good about what you're doing and understand what we're doing if you join up with someone.
Well, thank you for mentioning the shoes, because I did see online a program you were doing, Souls for Souls.
Yes, we do that. We try to pick things that make it fun for people. So if you want to have a shoe drive in your office or your Sunday school class or on your street, it's something fun to do. And we're desperate for shoes. We need men's work boots. We need tennis shoes, mostly comfortable shoes for men, women, and children, for people who are either walking on the streets or going to school, or people who have jobs and they actually have shoe requirements.
Last year, did Shannon tell you about my long underwear drive?
No, but
She and I, just on our own, started collecting long underwear for cold people.
oh, sweet. Well, we do work with the inclement weather. We pick people up. We provide warm weather items. We watch the news like a hawk because we're scared the clients are going to be freezing.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, I know you're doing a coat drive.
We
right
do
now, right?
Well, actually, yes. 5 Star Cleaners is doing one with us, and they bring them to us. In fact, I'm getting ready to do something on Friday about that. But yes, we pass out those kind of items, and not just to us, but the police come by our warehouse, and we give them a code, and they can walk in and get items for clients they're seeing and serving on the street. So it's a real community effort.
Well, the reason that I came up with this long underwear idea is because when I was a young child, my dad would take my brother and me skiing, and he would get us long underwear for that. And then I would come home and go back to school and freeze to death. And I didn't ever put those two things together, but when I became an adult and started doing my own shopping, thought, I'm going to buy long underwear and I'm going to wear it to work.
Right.
Because I don't want to be cold. And so I thought the same thing for people that live on the street. You know, yeah, it's nice to have a big, heavy coat, but if you have long underwear...
Layers are helpful here with our weather. And actually, I want to tell with you that some of our clients who are housed are men, women, and children who have a home, do not have warm homes. Sometimes they may be living in their home with no utilities. And so being able to sleep in long underwear and layers are equally as important.
Well, let me help you do the long underwear drive again.
All right.
And I think Shannon and I helped 77 people last year get warm. But we took all that to Haven for Hope, and I think this year we'll take it to Christian Assistance Ministry.
Well, thank you. We would appreciate it, because on those cold mornings, we're texting each other at 5 or 6 in the morning. I'll be, oh my gosh, I say it feels like 30 degrees. And so we get there early and notice clients who are not dressed warmly and try to give them some things to sustain them temporarily until we officially open. We open our gates at 7:30, but anyway, it's vital and we're worried. So thank you.
Well, we have to end the show. I had so much fun. Thank you for joining us. In 15 seconds, is there anything else you want to tell them?
Well, if you're interested in CAM, please visit our website at cam-sa.org and learn how you could be a volunteer or write one of those one-time checks or monthly checks. We'd appreciate it.
Awesome. I'm Todd Marquardt. We'll talk to you later.
This has been Talk Law Radio with attorney Todd Marquardt, brought to you by the Marquardt Law Firm. You can learn more at marquardtlawfirm.com. And be sure to listen to the full Talk Law Radio show Saturday mornings at 11 on 9:30 a.m. The Answer.
Most families don't realize they have hidden legal blind spots until it's too late. Wills, trusts, Medicaid planning, even protecting a business. These are the kinds of issues attorney Todd Marquardt helps uncover before they become problems. Todd is the host of Talk Law Radio, where each week he guides listeners through the legal challenges families, veterans, and business owners face, while showing them the practical steps to protect what matters most. Catch Talk Law Radio, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 9:30 a.m. The Answer, 6:30 a.m. The Word, and now in Houston on AM 1070 and 103.3 FM The Answer, or anytime on YouTube. Planning isn't just about documents. It's about peace of mind, security for loved ones, and building a legacy that lasts. Don't wait for a crisis. Do it before you die.